Hey everybody, my name is Andrew Bennett. I'm a licensed clinical marriage and family therapist. I've been practicing for almost 15 years. During that time, I have seen a lot of kiddos designated as SED or severely emotionally disturbed, as well as children and adults on the autism spectrum. It has been my experience that a lot of the behavioral and emotional issues that my clients have struggled with were due to an inability to verbally express how they were feeling in a situation or how they felt about the situation. In fact, when asked to identify any emotions, these kiddos struggle with naming more than mad or bored. They could, however, name all the characters from popular trading card games, name all of the evolutions these characters had, as well as identify what types these characters belong to in the game. So I thought, well, wouldn't it be great if there were a card game that had the feel of those other games, but dealt only with emotions? And after looking and not finding anything, I developed one on my own. And that brings us to the point of this video. I'd like to introduce you to Emoto. It's a self-contained card-playing game designed to increase emotional vocabulary, as well as emotion recognition and emotion regulation. Now, the game of Emoto itself consists of 6 emotion categories and 4 types of action cards. First off, the 6 emotion categories, we have anger, sadness, fear, calm, happiness, and kindness. Now, as you can tell, each one of the categories has a designated color. In addition to that, there's a facial expression on each of the cards that represents that emotion category. Now, within the emotion category, there are characters, or what we call emotos. There are 14 per category. We're going to look at anger just as an example. So as you notice, the anger cards will have the red border around them. Likewise, the sadness cards will have a blue border, fear cards will have a black border. So these are very easily recognizable when the kids are playing. They can look at the card and go, oh, this is an anger category card. Also, the name of the character on top is an emotion found in the anger category. We have annoyed here, for example. The cards themselves will range from a low level to a mid level to a high level range of emotions. Annoyed happens to be a low level. If you look up here at the top right hand corner, there is one face that designates the low level. We move on to belligerent. Belligerent happens to have 2 faces in the top right hand corner, designating him as a mid level emotion. And then finally we move on to maybe a card like hateful, who happens to have 3 faces here representing a high-level emotion card. So just at first glance, you notice the color, the name, and also the designation in the top right-hand corner of what level they are. Each illustration is also original and hand-drawn for this game. The characters on the cards show body expressions and facial expressions that represent the emotion that they are representing. The bottom part of that card will have special abilities that will be involved in the playing of the game, and the bottom left-hand corner shows you the intensity and defensive powers that we'll talk about later about how you use them in battle. In addition to the 14 cards per category, there are action cards that can be played in the game. First one, emotional block, emotional flood, emotional recall, and share your emotions. Each one of these cards represents a different action that you can play during the game. For example, share your emotions, you would trade your hand with a player of your choice. Emotional recall, you can bring a card out of your discard pile and put it back into your hand. Emotional flood allows you to get more cards in your hand. And finally, emotional block is a defensive card blocking a player's action that they are trying to do. I want to thank you guys for checking out this video on just kind of the description of the Emoto cards. Please make sure to check out my other videos, including how to play the Emoto card game. Also check below for descriptions and links on where to find these cards, as well as where to find me on other social media pages.